I would be speaking about the city of New York. The city of New York is the first place that I was ever arrested. I wanted to live somewhere where the buildings would be just as tall as my dreams. Everyone wants to visit New York and plays with it in their mind at one point or another. I can help with this because you can never have enough time in any vacation to fully experience the city. My name is Sean Collins, and for 6 years, I lived in New York City. I had time to see and experience the city in its entirety. These are just a few photos of the apartment I stayed at. I can provide insight to the diversity that the city offers as far as tourist attractions, bar scenes, and show how the city provides unlimited visions. The first time my mom and brother visited, they wanted Times Square to be their first tourist attraction. Radio City is actually in Times Square, which not many people know. Tourist attractions are very important for everyone, and they have a really extreme hold while they're actually in the event of the tourist attraction. An example of this is because my mom was so focused on getting our picture drawn by an artist on Broadway that I thought that would be the time that I could let her know I had a court appearance that week. I knew she wouldn't come out of her chair at me because that picture had to be drawn. So, New York is made of neighborhoods. Times Square is a neighborhood, and not many people know that. So you have the entire city that is made of different neighborhoods. Times Square is so largely lit that you can see it pretty much anywhere from the city. As long as you look that direction, you'll see the sky. A lot of things that people go, well, Times Square is largely famous for the ball, of course, which is in the center and drops every year. Broadway is the main street that's famous, that runs directly through the center of Times Square. And Broadway is famous for Broadway shows, of course. I was able to see The Lion King. I was not able to see Wicked, which is something that I wish I would have stayed long enough to see. But when you're living there, you think that you have all the time in the world before you're kicked out because you can't afford it anymore. The TKTS stand is the best way to buy tickets to your Broadway shows. The TKTS website is run by TDF, and they advertise that they sell same-day tickets for up to 50% off, which $135 is a huge savings. So after a show, you're full of energy, you're in the middle of New York City, so you want to go out. So then that's where the local bar scenes come into play. Hell's Kitchen is probably the easiest and most accessible, and one that I would probably mostly recommend because it's right next to Times Square, just a couple blocks away. Everything's reasonably priced, and they have a large diversity of different bars. For someone more fancy, or a girl looking for a sugar daddy, she might want to go down to the Meatpacking District, which is full of fine dining and celebrity clubs. So after people have had a night out at the bar and they're a little bit intoxicated, that's where the visions come in. And I don't want to confuse anyone because what I mean by vision is Merriam-Webster defines the word as a thought, concept, or art object being formed by the imagination. Day or night, a person's vision of New York City is constantly changing. Not every angle is the same. There's new inspiration around every corner building dreams for everybody. The US Census Bureau has estimated that New York City is full of 8.4 million people now, compared to the 1.7 in Phoenix. So that's quite a bit of dreams and visions. A vision of the city can be your most memorable. Remember your arrival and now your departure. How has it changed? You can experience the diversity through tourist attractions, bar scenes. Does it live up to your expectations and views? New York City is not one to disappoint. And then if you're lucky enough to get arrested downtown, you could be housed in the jail that's only a block away from the Ghostbusters firehouse.